Hello, video number 3 on personal boundaries. And today finally we're going to discuss how to have strong boundaries, how to build that energy that will hold strong boundaries. So for those who don't know me, I'm Anastasia Zatula. I'm an NLP master and Reiki master, and I love to work with feminine energy. And these are what my videos are about either NLP, energy, the mind obviously, and the feminine energy. And for everybody's development, personal boundaries are crucial. So that's why I decided to record these videos and tell you what you need to know about personal boundaries and how to create that kind of invisible soft field that will protect you but will allow others to get in, so you can develop with the other people. All right, so in the previous video, in video 1, I told you, I basically give you a description why are we trying to protect ourselves from people but yet we want people in. I told you about aura and about energy. Please do watch it. In the video number 2, I explained to you how you can, what kind of problems with the boundaries you might have if you are dominantly masculine or feminine energy, and what are healthy and unhealthy personal boundaries. Now in this video, so please do watch those two, and in this video I'm going to tell you what to do to have the healthy boundaries, how to create that kind of that invisible field around yourself. All right, so I wanted to bring you an example. Before we start, I will tell you an example. So a few weeks ago I was in the store. I was in Turkey, and if you ever been to Turkey, you know how people are. They're like very, very passionate. I'm not used to kind of bargaining. I'm used to come see something, see the price, pay, take and just go. So I came and I wanted to buy something, and the person, he basically started. I bought what I wanted to buy, but he started talking to me. He wanted me to convince me to buy something else, and I was kind of nice to, and I was just staying there and listening, and I was trying, no, I don't like this, it'd be nice. And at one point it started bothering me, like it was a little too much, and I couldn't just avoid it because the guy was nice to me, so I didn't want to hurt him. And then I remembered, Anastasia, you're trying to control the outside when you need to control inside. So I collected all my energy in my solar plexus, and I was just holding it there. And he stopped. He didn't even finish his sentence. He just stopped, and then he's like, okay, so yeah, I understand you don't want it. You know, if you want, you can go. And I'm like, okay, thank you. And I just left. Why did I give you this example is because often we're trying to fight what is outside when truly we just need to work with what is inside, and people outside will support their inside shift basically. So no matter how much you can fight outside, you can tell people, you don't respect my personal space with this and this. Like I remember one time I told my friend, you calling me only to complain, and yet I would sit there and listen. I mean, then why do I listen if that's how I feel? So anyways, so you need to shift the energy. You need to shift not only the energy but the mind inside of you. So you need to work with yourself, and that's what we're going to do. So first of all, the first step is you need to work on your overall energy. Yes, we need to work on chakras, on energy fields, obviously, that correspond to those chakras, so our aura will be strong. But our physical body is our roots. Our physical body corresponds to our first chakra. Now, if our physical body is weak, our roots are weak. So I can work on my heart chakra all I want, but if my root is weak, if my physical body is weak, my heart will not save the day. So I mean, it's good that I work on my heart chakra, but the root has to be strong. I actually spent I think 8 months working only on my root chakra until it became very strong. So we're not going to be working on root chakra, we're going to work on our physical body. So the first step is to stay as healthy as you possibly can. Remember, people become vulnerable when they lose their health, when they become older, when they are very young, very little. So if you stay overall healthy, happy and vibrant, your overall energy will be strong. You will see it. So what does it mean? You need to make sure that you exercise, that you eat healthy, at least partially, that you do some kind of sports, that you sleep. If you are in a very masculine energy, then you do need to meditate. You need to rest when you need to rest, to sleep when you need to sleep. You need to make sure that your body is balanced, that your physical body, I'm talking about physical body right now, because physical body is the start, it's the first chakra. You could not expect a strong aura if your physical body is crumbling. This is important, so I would start with that. Fortunately for me, I was always and am healthy, and I always did sports and still do. So for me, it was not a problem. Yeah, with food, especially in the United States, you know how we have some issues, but thanks God, I always was healthy, and that helped me tremendously. Now I had colleagues that also became Reiki masters, Reiki practitioners before that. They started because they wanted to heal. They had problems with their physical bodies, and they spent a lot of time on working on their first chakra and their physical body. So they weren't able to, like for example, I have 2 colleagues, so to say, and they couldn't do energy alignment because of their bodies. Their bodies are too fragile to hold the energy. So it is important. If you think that it's not important, it's very important. So the healthy body makes your aura, makes a strong root for your aura, like a strong base for your overall aura in the future. Now, and obviously you need to work with all 7 chakras. That's in addition to eating and sport and moving kind of your body and resting. Now, the second one is you need to become really self-sufficient. Imagine, like I always tell, imagine that you're by yourself in this universe. I'm in Athens right now. If I imagine that I'm by myself in Athens, I mean, what am I going to do? I don't have nobody to bring vegetables and fruits. I don't have bakeries open. I mean, if I'm by myself in this world, how am I going to cater to me? So this is what you need to think all the time. In this world, you are by yourself, and you have a whole bunch of phantoms that are helping you to develop, whether you believe in it or not. Now, those phantoms have their own reality, so they also have your phantom in their world. But overall, it's you and a whole bunch of phantoms. Now, you need to, you could not depend on other person for providing you security, for providing you pleasure, for providing you love or independence or something like that. You could not. Now, there are professionals, obviously, like my clients pay me to tell them what I know, to kind of guide them in the right direction. I, on the other hand, pay other professionals to do something, to do my hair, to do manicures, pedicures for me, to massage. Like, I mean, I pay them, but I don't depend on anybody of them. I mean, I'm grateful they are in my life, obviously, these professionals and the other professionals that I might need, but I don't depend. Like, it's not like this. I do depend on them, obviously, because I'm not going to cut my hair, but I don't have fears of losing them. That's what it is. So, and that's exactly what you should understand. You should never have fears because you don't depend on anybody. Now, if you, like me, in a feminine energy, you will be afraid that others might take energy from you, to grab energy from you, and this is normal. I mean, if you're feminine, you generate energy within yourself. Whether you want it or not, you will have to share. Like, I'm sharing energy with you, and I don't mind, and I get something back for it too. So I am not it's normal. If you're feminine, don't be afraid to share energy. Just share it in the right like with the right crowd and for the right reasons, and for some kind of benefit for yourself. Now you shouldn't worry about that. You shouldn't close the life because you think that somebody will grab something from you. Now self-sufficiency means that you like your life as it is right now. Your life is exciting, so you're like me. I'm recording this video and I'm excited about this video. Why? Because I want to share this knowledge. It came to me like a few days ago, and I'm like, I never spoke about personal boundaries, and my client had issues with them, so I should speak about it. So I'm excited to share this knowledge. So your life should be, you should like your life. Your life should be excited at least 75% of the time. It has to be exciting. You're satisfied with your life as it is. I mean, obviously there is room for improvement for everybody and for development, but overall you're satisfied with your life, and you're capable of providing for yourself whatever you need. So if all the bakeries around me will close, I will be eating cherries, because I don't know how to bake, but that would be enough sugar for me that I can get from cherries and from other fruits. I'm not afraid to lose the bakeries. You see, I am grateful to them, but I'm not afraid to lose them, and that's how you should feel. So also for security, if you shouldn't depend on, like, for example, a man for security or your employer for security. You should be able to know, you should know that you can provide that security at any time whenever you will need it. Or if you're in a masculine energy, you shouldn't depend on others for pleasure, for love, for some kind of for some relaxation, so to say. So you need to create that in your own life. So that's what makes you self-sufficient. Once you can provide yourself fully and completely, you're self-sufficient. Now you would say, well, Anastasia, then why do I need other people? The other people are not going nowhere. They still will be here. They still will be here, and they still will be providing for you, and your man will be providing for you. But if you are not dependent on him, you have no expectations, he will provide you much more, and your boundaries will stay strong. When you know you can provide for yourself, you don't allow somebody overstep your boundaries just because you're afraid that you won't be able to provide for yourself. The third one is you need to respect the boundaries of others. This is important because we often talk about how to protect our borders, our boundaries, but yet we often overstep the boundaries of others, and we feel like it's absolutely normal. So we need to respect the boundaries in others. Don't impose on anybody. Don't demand anything from anybody. You can express your wish, but no expectations. Like, for example, I told somebody I want to go to Acropolis. I had no expectation. I mean, he could have told me no. But he said, okay, sure. I haven't been there myself since I was 3 years old. So why don't we go together? Let's go. But again, I only expressed my wish. I had no demands. I had no expectations. I just expressed the wish, and that's how it should be. I respected his boundaries. Maybe he had other plans. Maybe he's not in the mood to go in the sun on that mountain. Maybe just he has other plans for himself or whatever. Maybe he's busy. So I respected his boundaries, and I got somewhat rewarded for that. The other one is you need to know your limits. This is super important. You need to know how much you can give. For example, I know that I'm effective, that I could be active, that I could be masculine energy for 4 hours max. So if I'm going somewhere, I'm not going to plan an 8-hour hike if I know that after 4 hours I will just drop and that's it. And that's I'm pretty healthy and in really good shape, but I know that there is a limit for my masculinity, and I'm not going to overcome this. On the other hand, I have two friends, they are very masculine, so when we used to go to the beach together, they wouldn't stay there for longer than 2 hours. So I can just lounge there for the whole day, but they wouldn't, because they need to start moving after a couple hours. So they know their limits, I know their limits as well. I know if I'm going to the beach with them, it's either we stay in 2 hours and they're leaving, or we stay in 2 hours, then we're going somewhere to eat, or somewhere, something like that. So it would be, I would not even like, when you know your limits, you wouldn't overschedule and overplan yourself. Like me, I don't usually plan 3 consultations in the same day. 2 is max, because I want to really give as much as I can to my client. If I will plan 3 consultations, the 3rd client will probably get less than I can give. So I wouldn't even do that, and I will be exhausted too. I mean, why would I even do it for myself? Now, and there should be limits in everything, in pleasure, in work, in activity, in basically in anything. You need to know where your limits are. So, like, for example, if you are, let's say, if you're with your man, and his limit to cuddling is half an hour and your limit is 2 hours, to kind of, I mean, you could not overcross his boundaries and expect him to lay there with you for 2 hours when his limit is only half an hour. You need to remember this, but also you need to know your limits. So don't overpromise and underdeliver, because you will be miserable and another person will be miserable, and it has nothing really to do with them or with you. I mean, it just you overpass your limits. I know my limits very well. I know how much I can eat. I know how much I can walk. I know how much I can do of anything. And after a while, I mean, after that the limit is over, I just, like, my battery is on 0, and I understand them. So this is another one. You need to know your limits. You need to communicate your limits clearly. Nobody will judge you. Trust me, nobody will judge you. I was so afraid to tell others. Usually when we're telling our limits, we're trying to convince ourselves, not even another person, because the other person doesn't really care. If you tell them, listen, we can go to the beach, but I only want to stay on the beach for 2 hours, otherwise it would be too much sun, the other person will be like, yeah, sure, I mean, I don't mind, I really don't care. You really need to communicate. There's nothing wrong with that. Trust me, nothing wrong with stating what you can, what you cannot do. Another one is you need to be firm with what is allowed and what is not. For example, I need to be in bed by 1 a.m. It's like non-negotiable. Ideally by midnight, but I can push myself to 1 a.m. But I have to be home by 12:30 at least, because I need to wash my face, take a shower, I mean, brush my teeth, and do all my at least calm myself down, put the energy into rest. I mean, I need to do all this, and these are non-negotiables. I'm firm with that. If I don't get home by 12, I become it's like I'm a Cinderella. After 12, I become this monster. I'm not sure. I become moody. I become very weak, vulnerable, very defensive, because I'm weak. My percentage of battery is very low, so I become vulnerable. I become defensive. I could become really like this cute little monster. So, and this is non-negotiable. I'm very firm with that. Like, no matter where I am, by 12:30 I have to be home. Even if I have to take taxi, I will be home by 12:30. And you should be also. You should know exactly what you can do, what you cannot do, and never overstep your limits. And you need to be firm with that. And again, people really don't care. They will respect what you tell them to respect, especially when these are new people. I mean, I tell everybody I don't eat meat. Before, when I was very, very young, I stopped eating meat when I was 8. So until I moved to United States when I was 19, I was kind of embarrassed about this, because people would not take me serious. But when I started taking myself seriously, and my non-meat eating kind of habit seriously, people start taking me seriously as well. And you will be surprised. You will be surprised how they would probably take you more serious than you take yourself. So just be firm on the self. And right now I have no problem telling people I don't eat meat. I don't feel like I will offend them. I will not feel like maybe I'm too much. No, I'm just firm like that. This is just a common knowledge, and this is just a fact that somebody has to accept it. On the other hand, I don't assume that others will not eat meat. If they want to eat meat, as long as they're not going to butcher an animal in front of me, I mean, that's fine with me. They can eat. I respect their boundaries, but I also know what is non-negotiable for me. All right, so be firm with what is non-negotiable. The other one is be flexible. Why do I say be flexible right after I said that you should be firm? Well, because we're in this world to experience life. We can't just shut ourselves from everything and everybody. The borders that we have should be soft. So we should allow in. So for example, when you go to another country, you want to try different kind of foods, right? You might not like some of the food, but you still will try it. So the same with everything in life. You should allow people in, allow experiences in, and then make your decision. Are they staying? Is the experiences staying, or that's it? We just tried, and that's the only time. Another thing that I wanted to mention it. We develop when we come out of our comfort zone. So if I will have like really non-flexible borders, not soft borders, how will I ever come out of my comfort zone? How I will ever experience anything new? How will ever my mind even grasp that there is something new if I have like a brick concrete borders around me? So flexibility is important, as long as it doesn't overcome your limits. So for example, I like nature, but I am a little high maintenance. I need to have a bathroom, a good toilet and everything, and I obviously need to have running water. I need to make sure my food is clean. So anyways, I'm like this. So hiking is not for me, but if somebody will offer me, do you want to go for a day to a lake? I might agree. I mean, why not? It's a different experience. Again, if I would be offered to sleep under the stars with no running water, with no shower, with no toilet, I probably will not. It probably will not work for me. So being flexible is important. Remember, you need to make sure that your boundaries are soft. They are not hard. And trust me, you don't need to keep them hard. All right, the next one is you need to reassess your boundaries. This is very important. Long time ago, one of my teachers told me this. She's like, your boundaries are going to be changing. Why do you want to put the boundaries around you? They anyways are going to be changing. And I was like, what is she saying? How is it possible? Well, this is what happens. As I told you in the first video, we have the energy field around us, and that's what we're protecting with the boundaries. Unconsciously, our subconscious or consciousness wants to protect the energy field around us to keep us alive. That's what the issue with the boundaries are. And so depending on our energy field, our boundaries will also change. So when our energy field will expand or shrink, hopefully not, expanding is preferable, but with age, I mean, often if people don't work with their energy, their energy space might shrink. So let me give you an example. So when your energy space expands or shrinks, your boundaries will expand or shrink automatically as well. For example, if I expanded my energy and I became super famous, now I have a lot of people who want to take my interviews, who want to socialize with me, who want to invite me to the parties, but my capability is still 4 hours, right? And I have to be home by 12:30. I would have to say no more often. It is normal. It has nothing to do. On the other hand, For example, I had a neighbor, and when she retired from her work, she was like really, she got a really strong career, and at one point she retired. She started having more free time. Her energy space shrink a little bit, so it was normal because she was already in her 60s. It's normal that her energy field shrinked a little bit. So she was more available for others, for her children, grandchildren, for her neighbors, for her friends, because of her of the energy field change, basically, like that. So you would need to reassess your boundaries, and don't hold on to them. If they're changing, it is okay. It is okay. Usually it's happening automatically, as I said. Now also, I wrote here an example. When you become pregnant, your energy field becomes a little smaller because a lot of energy goes towards creating the child. At that moment, a woman becomes a little more vulnerable and she needs outside help. It's normal. So her boundaries become more open for others to get in and to help. Happens also when a person becomes sick. Like for example, if somebody breaks the arm, a lot of energy goes into healing the arm, and that person needs assistance. So the boundaries become they shift a little bit. Okay, and the last one, you will need to find the proof and support of healthy boundaries. Talk to somebody like me. No, honestly, when we the boundaries. So when a child is born, the child has healthy boundaries. So he has a perfect aura like this around him. But child is not living on his own on clouds with angels. The child lives here with the mortals that are not perfect, that obviously have their own issues. So these mortals, they're putting in the child their limiting beliefs. So the child's aura and the borders will start getting damaged little by little, depending on the parents. Obviously, in some cases, those borders will stay strong. And I knew those people. I know those people that have really strong boundaries since childhood. They're amazing people. They're so easy to talk to, and yet you know when you how far you can go with them. So when let's imagine the child was brought up in a family where personal boundaries are not really a thing, not very much respected. So what happened with those children? They become adults like this. They become they believe that personal boundaries are not really important, and that they shouldn't be thinking about that, or they should be ashamed of even thinking about them. For example, I had a couple clients that were from the Eastern cultures, and it was very hard for them. They were brought up with the idea that the community is more important than the individual. So for them now to have boundaries is almost like betraying everything that they used to believe in. Or also for people like me that were brought up in a Western society, we had this kind of notion of helping others, doing some kind of charity work, doing this for others. It's like you brought up and you feel owed to everybody for everything, and it's hard to kind of change from that, from what you believed since you were a child to something absolutely new. Maybe some even of you will tell me, Anastasia, what you're saying sounds good, but I don't think I can change it. And I had clients told me that. But that's why you need to have somebody who will be like a proof to you. Fortunately for me, I had mentors like this. I had examples. I worked in finances, and there are a lot of self-sufficient people. So fortunately for me, I saw those people, and I kind of was maybe a little bothered by them because they could do whatever they want and I couldn't. I wouldn't allow myself that, but at least I saw how it looks, kind of. So you need to see this. You need to see that it's possible and it's not wrong. And if you need to, you can work with me, or you can work with somebody else but you need to have proof. You see, if your mind doesn't see a proof that it works, then your mind will be just like, yeah, it's like a beautiful Bora Bora somewhere, I don't know where. It's beautiful, yeah, but it's not for me. So you need to see the proof. This is important. Okay, so that's it. Let me just quickly recap. To develop your strong boundaries, you need to work on the energy within, not outside. Outside, you're just controlling the energy. There's no point. So first thing first, you need to make sure that your health is strong, so your energy can develop within a healthy body. You need to make sure you eat right, you exercise, you try to limit the toxic toxic stuff that gets into your body. Meditate, especially if you're masculine. Work with your energy field. You can work with me, you can work by yourself, you can work with other people that will help you. The second one, you need to become self-sufficient. Give yourself everything that you need, whether it's material or not material. Don't depend on others. Don't become hyper independent. I mean, obviously that's also wrong. We're ladies here, we're trying to develop femininity, but make sure that you don't depend on others. Your life should look like this. You like your life is excited at least 75% of the time, you are satisfied with your life, and you are capable of providing everything that you need at this moment or in the future moments. The second one is you respect the boundaries of others, obviously. You can express the wish, but you never impose on them. You know your limits. You are firm with your limits. You communicate your limits, but yet you could be flexible a little bit when it doesn't come to your firm limits. And you reassess your boundaries. Don't get stuck on one thing. Like, for example, if you have a lot of free time right now, but you trying to be you don't want to allow your friends into your life as much, I mean, why not? You have free time, so why not to spend more time with others? And you need to find the proof and support that healthy boundaries are important, and it's not a luxury, it's what everybody should have. I think that's it on this subject. If you have any questions, ask, I will answer them. But the part 1 and part 2 will be under this video, and the same as my LinkedIn, my Linktree, and the links to my courses as well. All right, thank you everybody for listening. If you have questions, ask. Bye.